You are listening to the Centropic Oracle, an audiobook podcast of science fiction and fantasy short stories that make you think and feel.
In the Blink of an Eye by Alexandra Grunberg. It was too cold at the beach for tourists, exactly how Aggie liked it. No intruders would dare to tromp around her sand when it did not shine white in the sun. Today, both the sky and shore looked decidedly grey, but the wind rushed with the promise of one last adventure before the return to school, and the waves hushed like a storyteller murmuring a fairy tale. There was that touch of magic in the air you could only feel in the minutes before it started to rain. So Aggie was delighted, though not especially surprised, when she found the white linen sheet left on the shore, weighed down against the buffeting wind by a collection of unusual glittering items. "It must be a fairy treasure," said Koira. Her eyebrows were knit with a trepidation that did not usually colour her brow. Koira was the one who pulled Aggie out of her books and bedroom to explore the caves hidden beneath the cliffs. Koira was the one who woke Aggie up with the dawn to see the first rays of the sun, even if their breath puffed out mist in the early hours of the chilled autumn morning. If the shivering got too bad, Koira would put her arm over Aggie's shoulders, and it would almost feel like spring. "It's beautiful," said Aggie. Her hand hovered over a pair of golden candlesticks, gliding to the right above a bright green jewel on a silver chain, slipping down to the glint of a thin diamond bracelet. "They say a fairy treasure disappears the moment you blink," she said. "Then we mustn't blink." Koira was smirking, but her eyes were wide, a serious request within the twinkle of a joking statement. She looked like she could stare at Aggie forever, but Aggie felt her eyes already starting to burn once she decided she would not blink. She reached out her hands to her sister, and Koira clasped them in her own, and Aggie felt stronger with the connection, with the support. With Koira holding on to her, Aggie would not blink, she would never blink, and the treasure would belong to her forever. "You're stronger than you think," encouraged Koira. Aggie smiled, resisting the urge to squint, fighting the relief that might come just from squinting, because she knew how soon a squint could turn into a quick blink. She knew exactly how strong she was, which was not very, but she knew she was always stronger with her sister. When Jeannie tried to steal her journal in the library, Koira was there to barricade the door until Aggie mustered the courage to snatch it back. When she thought she could not possibly reach the highest branch on the tree outside, Koira's welcoming laughter above was enough to inspire that last burst of strength in the final stretch. Her hands pressed into Aggie's with constant encouragement, with that little extra push of strength, but it did nothing to soothe the dryness as the wind and sand brushed against her eyes. "I think I need to blink," she said. "You can't," insisted Koira, and Aggie was distressed to hear her sister sound so distressed. "If you blink, the treasure disappears." Aggie kept her eyes as wide as possible, and her sister's smile was worth the strain. The sea foam blue glint in her sparkling eyes, the dimple in her cheek, the friendly smack of her red braids in the wind, it made all the pain worth it. It was worth it to have Koira happy, with her gap-toothed smile and freckles across the bridge of her nose. It was worth it to have Koira here, with her comforting weight leaning into Aggie's hands, with her knees rubbed just as raw as Aggie's by the sand, with her company. She needed to keep Koira here, but Aggie blinked. She caught herself before she fell forward. She was alone on the empty beach once more, but of course she had always been alone. When she read her books in the silence of her room, when she slept through every dawn she dreamed of welcoming, when Jeannie stole her journal in the library, when she could not reach the top branch of the tree. The grey clouds had broken under their own weight, and it started drizzling, the rain leaving dark, wet spots in the sand, and the air did not feel magical anymore, just cold. Aggie stood up, brushing the sand from her knees, and began walking home, walking away from the white linen cloth getting spattered by the rain. The candlesticks were still there, the necklace, the bracelet, but in the blink of an eye, the fairy's treasure had disappeared.
We hope you enjoyed In the Blink of an Eye by Alexandra Grunberg, read by Jill Raymond. If you'd like to learn more about the author and narrator of this story, or make a donation to them, follow the story page link in the description. Pledge your support to us on Patreon for cool rewards and to help us bring you more stories. If you would like to submit a story for consideration or apply to be a narrator, a link to our submission guidelines is in the description.